Well, hey everybody, it's Kevbo Jones here with the final installment for 2020 of the wonderful world of baseball cards and part three of my year in review recap featuring my top 10 favorite picks for vintage baseball. Of course, part one we looked at football, part two we looked at basketball, and finally we're looking at what I consider kind of my wheelhouse, my baby, vintage baseball. As I was narrowing it down to 10 cards, which was a fairly difficult task for this list, I realized how much I had quietly been working on vintage baseball throughout this last year, particularly in the first half of the year. Again, the Topps Project 2020, that albatross, really took up a lot of my collecting time as the year went on, and I am thrilled and delighted that that thing is about to be over. I'm going to have a nice display case made for my Project 2020, but oh wow, I'm so glad that is done, and I'm never going near anything resembling a Project 2020 style project again, unless they do vintage football, which I know they'll never do. But yeah, so glad that that's over. But I think the big change for me from 2019 to 2020 as well is when I kind of got back into the hobby in the spring of 2019, accidentally, almost by chance. I was gravitating towards some of the newer stuff that was coming out and some of the kind of hotter rookies in the 2019 class, which I think is a good class. I think Fernando Tatis is going to be a really good player. But I found myself getting things, Pete Alonso and Vladdy Jr. and Keston Hiura and Eloy Jimenez and like some of those guys. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. But this year in 2020, I just did not find that stuff as compelling at all. I still like to pick up the occasional unopened box if I was lucky to find something at retail, which I have not been again in about 6 months, which I think has also reduced my interest in modern product. And again, I don't find the rookies or players as compelling this year. I've kind of focused in with modern stuff on veterans and future Hall of Famers like Yadier Molina, Albert Pujols, Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer, kind of stuff like that. But vintage baseball is where it's at. And like I said, I hope you enjoy this recap of my 10 favorite cards that I picked up in 2020. And I'll see you in a bit. All right, we're back. Here we go. Really happy with these pickups. My 10 favorite vintage pickups of 2020. It's a really fun list, a nice little bit of diversity, I feel like. And here we go. Coming in at number 10. This is a super fun one. Never had one of his cards as a kid. Bob Uecker, Mr. Baseball. I picked this up, I think, in the summer. I love this card. Uecker is so popular and will always be popular, and I think he's one of those guys you could go up and ask somebody on the street who Bob Uecker is, and they'd know. I love this, too, because he's tricking the photographer, and he's posing left-handed, which, of course, always shows Uecker's awesome sense of humor. This is a beautiful 5.5. Just a great card, and one that I've always wanted to add to my collection. I'm also looking for the 63 Uecker as well. Love that card. 1965 Topps, Bob Uecker. Coming in at number 9, Project 2020 related, of course. Another one that was kind of a bucket list card for me. And I got this also this summer. Found a really, really nice copy of the 1975 Topps George Brett. This is a little questionable, I think, on vintage, but it was a big card. This has always been a popular card. I feel like it's got great color, great centering. The biggest thing, it has a little print dot there in the middle, but I just thought that this was a great addition to my collection. This is a PSA 6, but it's just absolutely beautiful. And I was definitely inspired to get this card after the Naturel George Brett came out this summer. And I thought it was a great looking card. I love the lines on it. And of course, those 75 colors are so much fun. That is by far the newest card in this. This is a fun one. This was a gift again from my big brother. 1958 Topps World Series batting foes, Hank Aaron and Mickey Mantle. Does not get much better than that. This is one of those cards that is just fantastic. Well, they're both, Mantle was in his prime, Hank was just getting into his prime, and just a fantastic card. This was a wonderful gift. This is a PSA 4, but it's a beautiful, beautiful card, and one that I will definitely cherish in my collection. Coming in at number 7 on my list of my 10 favorite vintage pickups. This is super fun. Not as easy as a card to find as you would think, and even more challenging to find a centered copy of this. This is one I had looked for over a year and finally found one. And I just absolutely love it. I've featured him on some of my videos in the past, and this is just a great card. The 1969 Topps Doc Ellis rookie. This is just a great looking card. I won this at auction, paid a good price for it, and it's just such a fun card. And again, like I said, very challenging to find this centered, and I feel like this one had good color. It's a nice 7, and a great Doc Ellis rookie for my collection. I just love it. I'm working on his player run slowly but surely. I've been looking for that 71 with no luck so far, unfortunately. But good old 1969 Topps Doc Ellis. Coming in at number 6, this is one of my all-time favorite cards. And I think this is just a beautiful example, even in spite of the grade. 1957 Topps Dodgers Sluggers. Just a gorgeous card. This has really great registration. It's a PSA 3, but I feel like it just looks absolutely beautiful. If Jackie Robinson were on this card, it would be even more special. But you got Carl Furillo, Gil Hodges, Roy Campanella, and Duke Snider. This was the Dodgers' last year in Brooklyn. You got that wall, that Ebbett Fields wall in the back. I think this might have gone down. I think there's like some staining on the back. Probably is what brought this grade down. And there might be like a little crease up there by Duke Snider, but it's just one of my all-time favorite cards. This is one I've wanted since I was a kid, and I thought that this was just a beautiful example of that card, and I'm going to feature that one on my little display here. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. That was my motto of 2020 as I look back at some of the prices in 2019 on stuff, and I wish I'd have grabbed a few things in 2019 after seeing what happened to the prices in 2020, particularly 1953 Satchel Paige, when in 2019 you could find a nice 5 for about $700, even a 6 for $700, and I think that gets you like a crappy 1 now. So number 5, we're coming into the top 5. Childhood card, another one that I had never had. This completed my Yastrzemski run for Topps. This is the only graded Yastrzemski I have from the classic Topps era. But I got this 1962 Topps Carl Yastrzemski. Just an absolutely beautiful card. Again, this is a PSA 3, but I feel like it's a really, really beautiful card. Really beautiful card for a PSA 3. And this is one of my favorite Yaz cards. Always elusive though. Always kind of a more expensive card of his for some reason. Maybe because it's in a high number series, and this could be a short print, I'm not sure. but the 1962 Carl Yastrzemski comes in at number 5 on my list. An all-timer, childhood favorite for me, and a welcome addition to my collection. Feature Yaz there too. It's a great looking card. Number 4 on my list. This is part of my last card Hall of Famers series. Another one I just had a hell of a time finding one that I wanted. This was another auction win. This card again has notorious issues with centering. I feel like I found a really nice copy. The 1966 Topps Sandy Koufax. This is a PSA 6, but it's a beautiful, beautiful card. The centering on this is just what sold me on this. And this is, again, one of those key cards from that last card Hall of Fame set. Koufax, I believe, is one of those all-timers when it comes to players. And I just absolutely love, love, love this Koufax card. And I mean, you just look, he was just, and now you see the back's a little off-center, but I don't mind about that. He was just crushing it, even in his last year. I think he played in 66, but this is his last card as an active player. He didn't have a 67. He's on some of the leaders cards, but not the other ones. Another one of my favorites. These last 3 are huge additions to my collections. The biggest additions probably for the year for me for collecting all around. One sentimentally and the other 2 probably monetarily, also with a touch of sentimentality, but this is one of my favorites. I won this at auction. I got a really good price on it. Another card that has a lot of centering issues. The 1965 Topps Richie Allen. Second year card. I like this one way, way better than his rookie. I love those vibrant red Phillies colors. I love the rookie trophy. Love the pose. Richie Allen, just one of my all-time favorites. And I picked up a 1971 Kellogg's Rich Allen 2 this year. That one did not make the cut. Those 71 Kellogg's are super tough because you couldn't mail away for the full set. But this one is one that I've been looking for a long time. And I feel like this is a beautiful copy. This is a 5.5, but it is a beautiful, beautiful 5.5. 1965 Topps Richie Allen. One of my all-time favorite players from when I was a kid. I don't know why. I never saw him play. I had some of his cards from that shoebox maybe, but I don't know. Just one of my favorites, one of those players. Another one that I picked up. It's kind of a white whale, I guess. Finally found one that I liked. It was a now or never card, is what I called it, as I saw one. And I probably looked at 1,000 of these over a year and a half before I finally found the one that I liked. And I got this again, another part of my last card Hall of Fame set, this 1969 Topps Mickey Mantle. This is his last card as an active player. It's a Mantle slab, and it's super nice to have this one. I love it. I will always cherish this one in my collection. Number 2 on my list, a huge pickup. It was one of the ones where I'm just like, I got to go for it now. The centering is not perfect on it, top to bottom, but it's the left to right that is so tricky on this card. And I was just, like I said, I probably looked at 1,000 of these, and this is the one. And I love it. I feel like it's just a great, great looking card. The back on this is really nice as well. There you see all his stats, notes his retirement. Great card. Great freaking card. 69 Topps Mickey Mantle. We'll get Mickey on there. And then finally, number 1, I got this card in April. I'd had a little windfall of cash, And again, it's now or never. And if I'd have waited, I wouldn't be able to afford this card now. And I got the 1956 Topps Jackie Robinson. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous card. Again, his last card is a Hall of Famer. This is a 5.5, and I'm just absolutely thrilled with this card. Just gorgeous color. That picture is just fantastic. Little off-center top to bottom, but I am not complaining one bit. This is a forever card in my collection. And what I paid for it in April, I would consider that an unbelievable steal now, as the card is freaking doubled in value in 8 months. Totally insane. So number one on my list, top pickup, I'd say this is my top pickup all of 2020, is this beautiful 1956 Topps Jackie Robinson. So there you have it, folks. That is my recap for 2020. This is Kev Jones here with the wonderful world of baseball cards. Thank you so much for another year of support for those of you who have stuck with the channel. I love to comment and talk with you all. And just, again, thank you all so much. And I look forward to a great 2021. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you all in 2021.